Greetings. Hello, everyone. So, I would like to talk today about the upcoming full moon in Leo and really some of the ongoing ways that things are changing, things feel unstable, how we can work with and think about and manage some of these energies and think about our self care in the context of shake up and change and uncertainty, and looking to this full moon for some insight into how it can guide us. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Perspective for Sunday, February 9th, and we are looking today at the upcoming full moon in Leo on Wednesday, February 12th at 24 degrees Leo, exact at 5:53 a.m. Pacific time. So you can adjust for your own time zone. That will be 8:53 a.m. Eastern time in the United States, and you can adjust from there. So this full moon brings some insight. A full moon shines a light on something we need to see. It helps to illuminate. It helps to reflect something back to us. It reveals something that is time for us to become aware of. Now, whether we are willing to look, whether we are willing to pay attention and notice what is being revealed is another matter. But we can think about this energy of the full moon, and I'll talk about the full moon in Leo as well. But any full moon brings this quality of reflection, of illumination, of something being revealed. So I like to say full moons reveal, right? So pay attention, notice what is being revealed anytime there is a full moon. And this one is in Leo, the energy of self expression, of creativity, of focusing on the self and how we need to shine our light in the world, what we can create, how we can express ourselves in ways to facilitate our own transformation, because just a reminder that everything that's happening in the world is an invitation in terms of how we respond. It is an invitation to grow, to step into higher possibilities, to learn more about what we are capable of. So in evolutionary astrology in particular, we view everything that unfolds as providing us this assistance on our journey to more fully understand who we are and to fulfill the purpose that we are here to fulfill. So, what you'll notice is that it does not tell us whether things are going to be okay or not. It does not tell us whether, for instance, we are going to have a certain outcome or a certain thing happen. But what it does do is it provides an opportunity. And within that opportunity, we always have choices. So, to think about how to make the most of this evolutionary journey and see what it is on our spiritual path, on our self-development path, on our self-awareness path, what this moment brings us in terms of what we have to learn and how we can grow into being our most capable and creative selves. So that's kind of background in terms of how we can orient ourselves and remember that where we are in this moment, that is definitely pulling on our nervous system, right? It's activating our nervous system, our sense of vigilance, our frayed nerves in many cases. And so, what do you need when your nerves are frayed? You need to calm down. So, that's one of the things this full moon may be helping you to see, is how to calm down, how to shake things off or laugh things off or have that experience of having fun, right? Remember fun? Being with friends, doing something you enjoy, expressing your desire to live and enjoy life. Playfulness, joy. What does that look like for you? So that can help you shake off some of the tension, some of the worries, helping you to come back to center, right? Leo has to do with courage, with heart energy. And what is at your center is your heart. It is what you care about. It is your passion. It is what you love. And so Leo reminds us to connect with what you love, what matters, what's important, and what we may be needing to let go of in this moment is attachment to things going a certain way. But that doesn't mean we have to give up. It's very different from giving up. What it means is we are regrouping. We are coming back to the center to remember what's important, to ask ourselves, how am I responding? How am I taking care of myself? How am I able to then show up in ways that can be creative, that can be part of the solution, that can be creative in the sense of creating the future, to affirm what we care about, what we value, to put energy into making things better. So that creative energy has that ability to steer things in the direction that our hearts want. What is love calling you to do? How is love calling you to participate? And to be able to listen to your heart, you have to calm down your nerves. Again, this might be a good time to shake things off, go for a run, get some exercise, or just hang out with a friend. Maybe doing some art is a good way of moving energy for you. Find what works for you to kind of shake things off and shift where you're coming from, to come back to center, to check in with your heart and your values and what you care about, and calm down and remember that you're the best able to help when you have fulfilled your needs first. So do that where you can. Find ways to do it. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be momentous. It can be as simple as taking a pause, taking a deep breath, sitting down while you're enjoying your meal and taking the time to taste your food. It can be as simple as that. It can be as simple as when you walk to your car or walk to your workplace or walk down the street, to remember, oh, I'm connecting with the earth. I'm taking a moment. I'm taking a breath. I'm taking a pause. I'm coming into my body, those kinds of things. So during this full moon, we have the energy of Uranus. Uranus is a planet of shakeup and change. I know we're all tired of shakeup and change, but guess what? This is what's happening. So I had a good conversation with some astrologer friends recently, and we talked about how during shakeup, in the midst of chaos, we can create what we want. We can choose directions and use the energy of breakdown and chaos to be actively creating the future. And the way that we do that is not through control, not through control, right? We want to have control. We want to know how things are going to work because that allows us to feel safe, to feel organized, etc. So we have to feel safe in the midst of change. That is the higher skill level here, to find your ways to feel safe in the midst of change. That will serve you well. And some of these suggestions I'm making might help you, whether it's taking a breath, remembering to connect with the earth, finding ways to laugh and have joy and pleasure and enjoy your meal, get some rest, whatever that is for you and whatever it is from day to day. because in the midst of change, there's having to have things shaken up, things that feel, the instability, the uncertainty, the way that change can be very destabilizing. But there's also within that change, there is possibility, right? As things change, as things break down, new possibilities are available. So this is what I was talking about with my friends, and I think it's so profound, is that what we need to do when we're in the middle of that change is be clear about what's important to us, who we are, what we want, because those moments of possibility, those moments of opportunity are going to appear from out of the blue. You never know when an opportunity to say something and be heard is going to just appear out of nowhere. You don't know when a possibility to take advantage of an opportunity or make a decision or do a thing that is in alignment with your own sense of purpose, with what's important to you, with what matters, with what your heart wants. You never know when those things are going to appear. And so in the midst of change, of shakeup, of things feeling unstable, unpredictable, the more you know what is important to you, the more you know and have taken the time to get clear about what you want to say, what you care about, what you need to express. Leo is about self-expression and expression, right? Expressing our creative energy. The more you know what you care about, the more that you will be able to take advantage of those moments when they appear, which you can't predict. So it's about the power of knowing who you are and being who you are that will allow you to make a difference, to bring about positive change in those little moments of opportunity that you can't predict, you can't plan for. So what does this look like? This could look like a random stranger in the grocery store, the bank, wherever you find yourself, someone asking you a question about something they haven't heard. And now it's your chance to tell them, right? Maybe you know about some news or some development or something in your community, even that you can say, oh, this is what's happening and this is what I think about it. And again, not because you're trying to convince someone, but because that person needs help in that moment, and you're there with the help, and you're able to, because you've taken care of yourself and gotten your own needs met, and you feel grounded and clear about what you think, you're able to express it more freely, more clearly, more with caring and kindness and compassion, right? Not with a sense of defensiveness or needing to prove a point, but just saying, here's what I want to say. This is what I have been thinking about and want to share in this moment. Maybe that happens with a stranger. Maybe it shows up with a family member who suddenly is wondering what they think or is confused about something that's happening that doesn't agree with what they thought it was, right? And you can show up and be like, well, this is what I've been thinking about. This is what I've been hearing or reading. And you might want to think about it from this perspective. Maybe that moment of opportunity will appear. Could be with a family member, a friend, a coworker, a colleague, right? It could be anywhere, and it could show up at any moment. And I'm sort of using like examples of what might be happening in the news that you might want to talk about, or information you might have that you might want to share. But really, this is an energy of taking advantage of a moment of creativity, a moment of possibility, a moment of connection you might be able to have with another person. And it's going to depend on what that other person needs in that moment, what the relationship between you and the other person needs. But my point is, be willing to allow things to emerge that you're not expecting. Here's another example. Without going into too much detail, I will say that someone I am close to, and a normal, like an argument that I might have with this person, that I know what they think, they know what I think, we kind of know that sometimes we get into this argument and we know what to expect from the other person. So in that moment, the other person goes into their pattern, and I take a pause and I go, you know what? I'm not going to answer that the way I usually do. I'm going to take a breath. And then I got more clear and I said, here's what I notice. And I just said it without judgment, without defensiveness. And the other person went, whoa, I hadn't thought about it that way. No way I could have known that would happen. And that would be like the answer to a long-standing, hard feelings or feelings of, that going into this pattern with this person, right? It's someone I care about. So, right, I don't know how this is going to show up for you, but what I want to say is take care of yourself. Do the self-care that you need so that you can be available for the creative opportunities, the opportunities for shift, for perhaps yourself or someone else seeing things from a different perspective, the way that our thinking might be changing, the way that people in general might be open to, or because they're feeling destabilized, they might be looking for another perspective, another way of thinking about it. And we as human beings need this connection with one another. We need each other. Need to be able to express ourselves and be heard and listen. And so think about how you're doing that. The energy of Leo is about the energy of expression, but it's the need to express outwardly. It is the need to see and be seen in your expression. So that's why Leo has to do with a certain kind of leadership. It's performative leadership, because there's a need to be seen. And so drama and attracting attention is all very Leo. And so when we think about, what do I need to say? How do I need to be seen and heard and recognized and appreciated? And how can I do that for others? So someone around you might be needing some validation or some recognition of what they're going through. Just an acknowledgement that, yeah, this is hard. This is confusing. And we don't always know what the answers are. And let's be in this space of creative possibility together, instead of digging in and being attached to our thoughts, our beliefs, our positions on things, but listening to one another to see what we can create when we get outside the box of our own thinking. So during the full moon, the sun is, of course, in Aquarius, because during a full moon, the sun and moon are exactly opposite. Mercury, the planet of communication and thinking and ideas, is 2 degrees, less than 2 degrees away from the sun. So we have this outside the box thinking, Mercury in Aquarius, sun in Aquarius coming together. And the way that we share and express our ideas can be opening to new possibilities. Our thinking can be shifting. Our consciousness can be shifting. And again, we're going to do that through this Leo process of needing to be seen, recognized, heard, listened to, and all of those things. So when we do that, when we focus on how we can connect with one another, we build trust. And there's a lot of need in this country. I'm speaking from the US, of course, but probably in the world too, there's a need to build trust between us, between one another as human beings. I don't know if that was grammatically correct, but you get the idea. We need to build trust together. And that means listening to one another as much as saying what we think, and getting down to these deeper levels where we can see things from different perspectives and open our minds to what we might think if we were to shift our thinking, or what other ways there might be of seeing something. Uranus is in Taurus. So Uranus, again, the planet of shakeup, of change, of also individuality, authenticity, being your own person. It's in Taurus. So we are changing what is normal. Taurus is about what we depend on, what we count on, what is dependable, what is always there, what is routine, those rhythms of life that are just part of normal reality. And that sense of what is normal and what is reality is changing. Remember that for everything, there are two sides of the coin. So again, there is this sense of insecurity, instability, things changing, not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing what the future will bring. But also within that, there is this creative possibility, this way of expressing ourselves, this way of discovering what truth we can grow into or learn about or discover for ourselves. And, it's human, and it feeds us as human beings to learn things, to see things that we couldn't see before. It's exciting. It gives us this perspective and this feeling of, change being a good thing. It's like, oh, I can see and understand something I couldn't see and understand before. And it's affirming for life and our human growing into our own potential and being able to live our purpose. So remember, as a human being, all of us have more to learn. That's the nature of being human. And that learning process really can feed us and feed our life force energy. So this full moon can bring breakthroughs and can bring shifts in consciousness. And the way that we access those breakthroughs, those new paradigms, those new ways of seeing things is in starting with self-care, starting by remembering who we are, what our hearts want, what we care about, and what matters, coming back to this place of home where our hearts know things that our minds are slowly catching up to. So Leo is that energy of the heart and how we share and shine our courage and our creativity in the world. So starting with remembering who you are, knowing what's important to you, affirming your ability to learn new things and to show up and take advantage of these moments of possibility that could appear and will appear spontaneously in different places where you haven't been expecting them. And the more you know who you are, the more you're ready to respond and take advantage of these opportunities to invite breakthrough, to make the most out of this shakeup and change that also brings in profound capacity for us to make some evolutionary leaps in consciousness, to bring in new possibilities. But we have to be willing to do that, right? We have to be willing to change, willing to see where we've been wrong in the past and where there is a new perspective that can help us shine the light on the way to the future and the way forward. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Marina Orms, and I'm here every day with Astrology for Unshakable Self-Care. You can learn more about me and how to work with me at astrologyheals.com. Thanks for hitting subscribe. I so appreciate your support, and I will continue to provide daily astrological wisdom in how you can make the most of these times as we move through them. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.